Hi everyone. Today we're going to be learning how to use Homestyler, and we're going to be working through what we can of activity 2.1.3. Now there's three parts to 2.1.3. There's A, B, and C, and these are meant to get you familiar with Revit. Now the thing is, we do not have access to Revit at this time, so we're going to be using Homestyler. Now Homestyler is really meant for people who are interested in interior design, as you can see with pictures such as these. So if you're interested in interior design, this is a great free tool for you to use. However, it's much more limited than Revit is. So a lot of the things that we would want to do in Revit, we can't quite do in Homestyler. But we're going to do our best. We're going to get the basic idea of how Homestyler works, and once we do start learning Revit, it's going to be a little bit easier since we're used to something that's somewhat similar. So what we need to do first is, well, I have this open on my screen, so you can have activity 2.1.3 open, but I have it over here and I'll walk you through it. You also do need Homestyler up because you need to draw along with me. So sign in. All of you should have signed up. I believe I signed in with my Google account, my school account. Yep, here we go. Now I've got myself logged in. Now, if you have any designs already, you can click on Gallery. That's actually public ones. There we go, My Designs. So you can see I already drew this. Green utility shed is what we're going to be making today. Sometimes I will tell you right now, you make your design, and for me, when I first made this, it didn't show up under My Designs. I don't know why, but do not worry if you're working on this and it doesn't show up here. All you need to do, if we're on the home screen, you can click on Start Designing. That's going to open up the modeling area. And then it does show up down here in My Designs. So it will be there. Now I'm going to click on Create New Design. Okay. And we'll have a look at the tools that we do have and how they differ a little bit from Revit. So let's follow these instructions. So we're using Revit, well, not really, to create a utility shed. We're going to produce a drawing to document the design later on. So what that means is we're actually going to try to take this drawing that we're making and we're going to put it into a title block. Just to look ahead, I've made one right in Slides, so you have access to that and you can edit it. So we're going to go through all three parts in this one video. So you can pause and take a break at any point, or you can go through it all at once. That is up to you. So we have our constraints of this utility shed. It needs to be 12 feet by 16 feet, an 8-foot wall height, one exterior wall should include brick, should have a floor, and should have a gable roof. Now let's remind ourselves what a gable roof looks like. So I'm going to quickly search up gable roof and then we can get a good picture of it. Here we go. This is a good representation right here of a gable roof. So this is what we're going to include on our shed. Okay, so we know our constraints. Now we can go ahead with the instructions. Now there is a typical way to start in Revit opening a new project. Usually you would open an architectural template, but we didn't have to do that. We just had to click on Create New Design within Homestyler. So there are also elevations. So you can have floor 1, floor 2, or level 1, level 2. You can have a roof line, an underground level. We don't have that in Homestyler. Homestyler is really more for you're working on one level or one room and you're focusing on what's inside that room. That's why it's interior design software. But you can make another level, but but we're not going to do that today with this project. So we don't need to rename any elevation levels. We'll try that out when we get to Revit. Drawing exterior walls. Okay, now this is where we can begin drawing. So this is our 2D space right here. See if I can move this. No, can't move that. I'll put that away. Okay, can't do that. So with drawing walls, if you remember like AutoCAD, you would have a line, and it would take a bit of effort, but you would have to draw a line, draw some lines, offset those lines so that you'd have a wall thickness. You don't have to do that with Revit or Homestyler. What we have instead are actual components within here where the program knows that it's a wall. So it's not a bunch of lines and shapes. These are actual architectural features. So on this level, let's see what it's having us do. Well, within Revit, what this is telling us is that we would click on a wall command, which we do have over here. That's under Create Room. And there's a couple different ways to go ahead and make these, but I'll show you how to do it using Homestyler. So as we know from the constraints, we need a 12-foot by 16-foot room. So that's measuring from the exterior. Now you have two options, well actually three, but you have two options right here. You can draw a wall measuring from the centers like that. Or, hold on, there we go. This isn't very helpful. See, so there are some flaws with this. I'm trying to do the select tool, but it's not quite working. Something to get used to. So you can measure by the center of the wall, or you can measure by the outside edge of the wall. Since we have the outside or the exterior measurements, we're going to be using the by edge option. You can click anywhere. So our width is supposed to be 12 feet. So I'm typing that in. And this is really nice. Now we have a chain going on, so I don't have to reselect anything. I'm going to go up 16 feet. I'm going to actually delete that. I'm not sure if I did go straight up. You gotta be careful with that. So I'll click again down here. And I want this to be, and I clicked on the wrong one again, the lower end, because we're going from edge to edge. And now I'm going straight up. 16 feet. Now over to the left, and you can see that there are snaps going on here. So now we have that, and back down to here. Now what's going on here? Why? Question you're probably asking is why these measurements are now different. So let's use our measure tool just to see what's going on. Yeah, so something didn't quite go right. Since this is an interior design program, what you're going to be seeing are the dimensions are automatically going to be put inside, which isn't super useful for us if we're trying to work with exteriors. So all I'll do is I'm going to have to expand this a little bit until I get 12 feet again. Almost there. Just got to go in 1 inch. There we go. I'll measure. Yep. Okay, 12 feet and 16 feet. Good. So that's creating walls. So Homestyler automatically views this as a single room. Within Revit, you would have to actually say these 4 walls define a room, and then you'd have to put in a floor. With Homestyler, it's automatically put in for you. Okay, so the next thing that we need to deal with is changing the wall height. So within Revit, if you remember, I mentioned you have different levels. There's a first floor line, a second floor line, or you can have a roof line, and you would have to change the level, the elevations of these different levels in order to change the wall height. However, in Homestyler, it's a little bit different. So I will click on each of these. I'm holding Control down. For a Mac, it would probably be Command. So I've selected all the walls. Now with this piece open, this is the Properties tab. How do we change the height? Well, here's the height. We can see right now it's 9 feet 2 inches, but we don't want it to be 9 feet 2 inches. Our constraint said it needs to be 8 feet. We go back up to the constraints, 8-foot wall height. So we need to change that. So we need to change it from full to partial. And then we can change the height to 8 feet, just like that. Great. Good. Now, there is an automatic roof. Well, how about we have a look at what we have so far? So if you click on this full screen right here, this is actually your 3D view within Homestyler. You can also click on 3D right here. And here you see, you see the building that you have so far. So I'm left clicking to pan or to orbit around. And I'm holding my middle mouse button to zoom in and out. Okay, so now you can see your building so far. Now there's this weird roof up there. We don't need that right now. So I'm clicking on this roof, and I'm going to click on no. I'm going to put my own roof in later. So don't want that. But anyway, look, we have 4 walls that are 8 feet high, and we have 12 by 16 foot footprint. So we've changed the wall height. Different ways to do that in Revit, but we'll see that in more detail when we get to Revit. Adding floors, you can see here there's a step for adding a floor, but we do already have a floor. Now you can actually zoom into the walls, and there you go. You can see there is already a floor in here. You can also change to orbit view like this, and then you can see from above. The only problem is that now the walls are going to be hidden when you want to look inside, but you do see a floor in there already. So very helpful with this program. So it looks like we're getting close to the end of part 1. We need to make a gable roof. So let's get back into our 2D view. I'm going to click on this right here. There's our floor plan view. And now we're gonna search, click on search, and we're gonna type in ceiling. Now there's different ceiling features like overhead lighting. What we are gonna want is to click on roofs. So here we have a bunch of different roofs. Now since we want a gable roof, actually these guys kind of look like gable roofs. You can pick whichever one you want. I think I'm going to pick this one. And then we need to place it in the correct spot. And you can kind of see it in this 3D view as well. And you know what? Because I want that opening, that point, to be facing the front, what we're going to be calling the front here. So I can click on this, click and hold, and then I can rotate this. Then I'm going to snap it to the corners, and I'll resize this so that it is, so that it's right inside. So right now I have it right inside the walls, but I need it outside. But anyway, it is centered. Now, if we go into our orbit views, well, something doesn't look quite right because the roof is on the floor. The roof should not be on the floor. So what are we going to do about that? Well, since our building is 8 feet tall, we need to lift this up 8 feet. That's where this lift comes in. Right now, our lift is 0 feet. If we change that to 8 feet, there, now you get the correct height. The height refers to something else. The height refers to how high this point is going to be. So we can, oh no, I'm changing my lift here. It's okay, I'll just put 8 feet in again. Here we can change the height. There you can see that that changes the slope of the roof. It looks like we haven't been given instruction for how high that slope should be, so you can make it whatever you want. I'm gonna make it 3 feet tall. Cool. Now, again, we can see it's inside the walls here, which we don't want. And also, if we look at the instructions here, we see that there should be a 1 foot overhang. What that means, going back into our plan view, is that this roof should be hanging over this wall by 1 foot. Okay, so if we remember our width, our horizontal length is 12 feet. So if we have 1 foot off on the right and 1 foot off on the left, that's 12 plus 2. So we have a total of 14 feet. Now we can see here that width in this case seems to be the height, that's the longer end, and length seems to be the shorter end. So for our length, we're going to put in 14 feet. There, you can see now, we can even measure this. The distance between the wall and the edge of the roof is 1 foot, so we get that overhang. We're going to do a similar thing, pressing escape and then clicking on the roof again. We'll change the width to 16 plus 1 plus 1, that's 18, so 18 feet. There. Now, if we go back into our 3D view, we see that a bit more nicely. Maybe I'll change my view to 3D instead of orbit. And you can see that now this roof is having an overhang. So you're probably wondering, well, hold on, why is there a giant gap here? So that's one of these flaws with Homestyler. Lots of people online have said, can you please fix this? And as far as I know, as far as I can find, they haven't fixed this. Keeping in mind that the focus of this program is for looking inside the home, so there isn't necessarily a need for roofs in this program, but we'll work with what we have. Okay, so we have walls, floor, somewhat a roof, and this wants us to change the properties of the roof. We can't really do that in here, but you can in Revit. You have lots and lots of different materials that you can work with. But here we're just going to have to leave it as is. And finally, the wall type. So we were told that one wall needs to be brick. So pick any one wall that you want. Maybe this front wall. And we're going to open the style tab. And we're going to look for brick. We can search brick. There we go. Now we have all these brick styles. Pick one that you like. I'll click that one. And now you have one wall that is brick. So that's part one. At this point, you can pause if you want to take a break, or you can just keep going and we'll go on to part two. So that is part one. Now we're on part two. So let's see the constraints that we're given here. We're going to continue adding on to this building. 12 feet by 16 feet. We already had 8-foot wall height. An exterior wall should include brick. Some of our walls should include siding. Floor, we have gable roof. Oh, an exterior door and at least 2 windows. Okay, and we're going to end up putting all our floor plan and some exterior views in a working drawing. But we'll get to that at the end. So we're here, we've opened this, modifying the wall type. So now we are changing the wall type. Again, in Revit, this is there are a lot more features, a lot more things you can do. You can actually change the thickness, you can change what's inside the walls, but we can't quite do that in here. So here they're saying, oh, we can put in plywood, because that is one of the components of a wall. We can't quite do that here, unfortunately. So we can change the exterior though. So let's go back into style and let's see what we have. It would probably be under others. So that's where all this brick is. However, there's really no siding, like the side wood panels or vinyl panels on a house. So let's go with concrete. Let's change this to concrete so that it does differ from our brick wall. Style concrete. There we go. So now we have, oh, did I do too many concrete walls? I think I did. I think I clicked on the wrong one first time around. So I'll click on this front wall and I'll change that back to brick. I think I liked this one here. So we've changed the wall type, or what the wall looks like in Homestyler. In Revit, you have different options in terms of how the graphics are displayed. You could have a more animated kind or a more realistic kind, or you can have it as simple as possible if you want to conserve computer power. But in here, what you see is pretty much what you're going to get. Appearance, again, all these different kinds of things that you can do. Material browser, asset browser, that's when we get to Revit. Can't quite do much more in terms of the wall styles here. Okay, so how about walls and doors? I think that's pretty much all we can do for part 2. So let's put in a door. You can click on search and you can type in door, or you can look at the catalog. And this has all your furniture and everything you could possibly want inside. So we have, let's see, we're probably going to be looking for openings. Well, I can't find it, or, oh, here it would be under building. So under building, that's where you have these wall openings, doors, windows. So I'm going to put in a door first. Pick a door that you think would be good for a shed. I think I'll do that one. Well, I don't know if that's good for a shed. There's also more pages. And I'll click on that one. And we'll put that right here. So there's the front of my building. Some options that you do have, you can change the length. Make it a really wide door if you want. Change the height, make it a really short or tall door. And even change the elevation of it. But I'm going to keep everything the same. Oh, come on. Let's bring that back to 0. There we go. You can also change the thickness, the width, some of the styling. Let's see if I can. Come on, open up. See, am I able to do that? It didn't quite work. Oh, it changed the inside of the door hinges. But anyway, that's how you put in the door. Within Revit, oh, now we're on 2D. You can see that door right here, and you see that door swing. So that's what it would look like in a floor plan, in any floor plan. In Revit, you would actually you would put the doors in on your floor plan view rather than in the 3D view. Now I'm actually going to have a look over here because it looked like in my floor plan view that something wasn't right with my roof. Nope, it's right. I want to make sure that the overhangs were still there. All right, what about windows? So we can go back to building, look at windows, and again, pick. We are asked to do 2 windows, so pick any 2 windows for your shed. There's a couple pages here. Maybe I'll do Maybe I'll do that one right here. You can see inside your building. And maybe I'll do one on the other side of my building as well. Again, in Revit, what you're going to be doing is putting your windows in on the floor plan view. Similar to this, you're going to be picking a window that you want, and then you will place it where you like. I'll put this nice big window in right there. I also don't love the height of this, so you can change the lift on it too. We'll move that down a little bit. That's good. I'm happy with that. Cool. So that's placing doors and windows. And we can see there's many other things here, columns, wall moldings. You can put in maybe different pictures. So again, this is all for interior design. Got some roofs over here, but that's a little bit limited. That's placing components. Revising dimensions, it's not super easy to do here. So let's say in the floor plan view, you wanted to change the dimension. Can't really do that unless you drag it, or if you do this in the properties panel over here. We'll get back to creating a drawing. That will be the last thing we do. We're adding required views. Let's do interior walls and adding site components. So this is where I kind of want you to do whatever it is you'd like right in here. Let's go back into our orbit view. We will go right in here. Now we're in the shed. And let's open up catalog and then add whatever components you want. Now what would be good in here? Probably some sort of a shelf. Maybe I can search that up. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's some shelves. Here, I like blue, so I'll put in blue. I'll put a shelf there, and let's see what's under editor's pick. So, it looks like we got a lot of toys in here. Maybe I'll decorate the room with a plant. So I'm just clicking here, clicking which one I want. Let's definitely get a minion. Put that on the floor. Let's get a few of those. Yeah, that's great. Got lots and lots of minions in here to help. Oh, here we got a, what is this, a gramophone? Something like that. Old-timey music player. There we go. Okay, so we got our army of minions. A potted plant, shelf. So that was a part of this. But let's also change the wall styles. So maybe you can do wallpaper. You do have different wallpapers in here. You also have some solid colors. So what do I want? So you pick whatever you want, whatever looks good to you. Maybe I will pick this stripy one right here. And then you can click inside the room and it actually changed all of the walls in here. And as for site components, it's saying we should add some trees. So let's zoom out. I'll go into orbit view. There we go. So I'm using the middle mouse wheel to zoom in and out here. And let's add some trees. So there we go, tree. And put in any trees you like. Oh, we got some Christmas trees. Or I'll put in some Christmas trees and include the I can only put that, only wants me to put that inside. So I'll do a different tree then. How sad. Yeah, maybe this one right here. Now you really want me to keep it inside here. So again, here it looks like we have another. Why do I think I have it on my roof? Yep, that should not be up on the roof. That should be down on the floor. There, so there's a tree. That's it for part 2. So we've changed wall type, we've added building components like doors, windows. We've been able to add some furniture in here. And we also were able to add something on the site, like a tree. So let's move on to the last part. Again, if you want to take a break, this is a good place to take a pause. Otherwise, let's finish off this model. So 12 by 16, still good, 8 foot, 6-inch concrete floor. We got 2 by 4 wood frame construction and siding, got the gable roof. And then we're gonna put together our B-size drawing. So with that 2 by 4 wood frame construction, now if you're used to your own house, if your own house has a wood frame construction, in your walls there are these planks of wood, almost like a post and lintel kind of deal. You have your vertical wood, planks of wood, and then your horizontal ones lying right on top of that. And they support each other and the roof. In Homestyler, you can't do that, so we're going to have to skip that one. But you can change that in Revit, but we're not going to do that here today. 6-inch concrete floor. Can't change the thickness of the floor, but we can go in here and we can change the material. So let's click on Style. Let's see what's, here we go, floor. And do we have concrete in here? You know, the easiest thing to do would be to type in concrete, of course. We got concrete wall and there's your concrete. So there we go. It doesn't look beautiful, but we're working with the criteria and constraints here of this project. Okay, so no wall section, can't deal with that. Still working with wall section. Now they're actually asking us to take a section view of the wall just like this. Also can't do that in Homestyler. What else do we have? Well, that actually looks like it. So only so much we can do with this. This is as much as we can do really with our building right now. But we worked with the constraints the best that we can. And now we're going to take some pictures for our drawing right here. So what do we have going on? Well, we can click on, where is it? There is a, what's that? Don't show that again. Oh, these are different wall settings that you can have. Here we go, floor plan, it's under export. So we click on this, floor plan, there we go. There's your floor plan, and you know what? I actually don't want the roof in my floor plan. So I'm going to click on the roof, I'll right click, and I'm gonna click on hide. Don't want my roof in my floor plan. The roof never is included in a floor plan anyway. So I'm going back into floor plan. Now I have the inner dimensions. I can't change that. I see the window, a window there, a door, got some furniture. I'm gonna use the snipping tool. Or you can use your camera if you really want to, if you don't have a snipping tool or a screenshot tool. And now I'm frozen on the screen. There, so I've got that. I'm just gonna right click on copy, and I will paste that right in here. Resize it, place it wherever you want. Okay, now the other thing that this project wants us to do, let's have a look at this. A 3D view, a dimension floor plan, we got that. 3D view, well, we can get back our roof by right-clicking and then clicking on Show All. So to get a nice 3D view, we can click on Render. So that rendering will give us a nice shot of the building. The environment, up to you, but I would put that on maybe green grass. Any aspect ratio is just fine. And I'm gonna click on render. Actually, wait, I'm gonna zoom out a little bit and make sure that everything's in view. Looks like it is. Okay, render. No door, window, or lamp in your design. Mandatory rendering may result in poor effect. Well, we'll see what we can do. Please save the design. Okay, let's save the design. Forgot to do that at the very beginning. So let's call this. There is a specific title for this. Utility, I believe it's green utility shed underscore and then your initials. For me, it would be DL. And you can click save. And now I'm going to ask for this to be rendered. Oh, it is actually rendered right now. So let's click on view, and it's in the middle of being rendered right now. This one's almost done. Well, while it's doing that, let's get a front exterior view. Because we need 2 exterior views. That's probably the best I can get. I'll click on render, continue rendering. And then a side elevation view. I'll do one from over here. Too bad the minions aren't in shot right now. That would be great. Don't you love it when your grandparents share minion memes on social media? That's my favorite thing. I'll render that one too. Okay, let's view images. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, look at that. Now Revit can do this as well. There's our building. There's our floating roof as well. Not perfect, not great, but here I'll download it. And then I'll open it. I will right click and copy it, and I will paste it right into this drawing. There's our 3D view of the shed. What else did we have? Here's our front view. So the shed is also floating, funnily enough. But anyway, I will download it, open it, and right click, copy, and paste. Maybe I will put my floor plan down here. I'll put my 3D view right there. I'll put my front view right there. And there's my side view. So I will download that, open it, right click it, copy, and then paste it. We'll make that a little bit smaller. So that's how you make a building in Homestyler. Again, better for interior design, but just finishing this off now. Of course, you need to put in your name, drawn by who is it drawn by, of course, that's your name. We don't have a scale, we're gonna have to leave that blank. But we do have a date. Date I'm drawing this is 9/25/2020, and this is only one sheet. We were also asked to get a wall section, but as I described earlier, we can't do that with Homestyler. So this is the best that we can do. We still got to learn a new program. The last thing I need you to do is just share it with, or actually don't share it, but on Google Classroom, go into classwork, find the assignment, which isn't there yet, and then upload it to that so I can see it. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about Homestyler and getting somewhat of an idea of what Revit's going to be. But I do look forward to us getting to learn Revit and learning a bit more about residential design the rest of this unit. So thanks for following along, and I'll see you for the next